Hey everyone, Tech OG here, representing those who are 50 and up who love their tech. And in this video, I want to give you my intake of the Microsoft Surface Duo 2. I purchased this a few days ago and have been testing it out and just wanted to let you know what I think about it using it in 2025, even though it's discontinued and it's not getting any more updates. But I also want to talk about my new recording setup. I'm finally using, what is this called? Streamlabs, OBS, whatever it's called. I'm finally using it. And so after setting this up, and this took me a minute to set up, but I finally have a webcam so that you can see me as I record, a drop cam so that you can see stuff. And this is all happening live. So I have my drop cam to talk about my tech so that you can see my tech as I talk about it, and picture so that you can see my PC screen and me so that I don't have to keep stopping the recording to get to the PC, blah, blah, blah. This all can happen in real time. So I'm really excited about this setup. And a shout out to Shane Craig. So I actually saved a video of his that's entitled How I Make My Content, and he made the video in 2021, and I've saved it years ago, just never really looked at it, never really got into it, because from how it looked very confusing. So I never took the time to try to learn it until a couple of days ago. So I finally just battened down the hatches. I said, I just want to use it because the way that he makes his videos, Shane Craig, I really like his setup. And it's basically like the way that I'm doing it, but his is better because I guess he created his setup, and I just wanted to mimic his setup. So shout out to Shane Craig, and if you haven't seen his videos, check him out. They're very informative. He's a good guy. So definitely subscribe to him if you haven't done so, and check out his videos. Oh snap, I thought I was subscribed. Bam, I'm subscribed. So like I said, I checked out that video, and I even bought one of the items that's listed here, a Stream Deck. And he uses it to switch between stuff. And I don't have it set up right now, but one day I will set it up. But like I said, I am using a lot of the stuff that he has here. So I got Droidcam, OBS, Stream Deck once I set it up. I'm actually using a mic arm, but for something else, I already have my own mic. Actually using this mic right here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So like I said, shout out to Shane Craig. Thank you, Shane, for making a video that shows people how you made your content, because videos like yours are hard to come by. I'm pretty sure that there's lots of videos on YouTube, but they don't have step-by-step instructions, or they're not easy to actually do, just from a regular person standpoint. So like I said, when I was looking at videos and things like that, it seemed like it was too much. And so, just looking at his, and I was just basically looking at his video and seeing how he set things up. And he basically used things from another person that he gave shout outs to as well. It was pretty easy after that. Much easier than I thought. So I'm very ecstatic that I'm using the setup. I hope you like it. And again, shout out to Shane Craig. Now let me quickly go over the specs of the Surface Duo 2. And as far as getting specs, I like to use this website here, GSM Arena. They pretty much have specs for pretty much every phone and other technology, as you can see here. So I suggest, if you want to get specs, go to GSM Arena. And I'm not going to go over all the specs because this is an older phone, and there's lots of videos on YouTube that discusses this phone and the specs. But the specs that I will talk about really quickly: it has an AMOLED screen, 8.3 inches, and just in case you want to see how that looks, boom, 8.3 inches spread across. This is a pretty massive phone, and it's really thin. So those of you who are seeing the Oppo N5 phones and the Oppo Fold phones, and those are very thin, they were inspired by this phone right here. This is incredibly thin. Resolution 1892 by 2688, so 401 pixels per inch density. It came with Android 11 in the box. This has been updated, or mine's been updated to Android 12L. It has a Snapdragon 888 processor in here, so not the latest and greatest, but still good enough to use in 2025 and beyond. The GPU is an Adreno 660. There's no memory card slot, but you can still expand the storage, and I'll show you that in an accessories video coming up soon. Now, as far as internal storage, now this is interesting. You can get it as low as 128. And again, this phone is discontinued, so if you can find it on eBay, most likely eBay, because they have the most amount of Surface Duo 2s on sale, 128 gigabytes minimum, and 512 gigabytes maximum. I had no idea they made one this size, because the ones that I've seen on eBay are these two variants, 128 and 256. This one right here, I have been searching for a long time. And from what I've researched, Microsoft didn't make a lot of these. And so they probably did make some of these, but the number was probably very, very small, because I can't find it anywhere. And I guarantee the people that do have it, they're probably going to wait for a while to maybe sell it, because again, they're very rare and they're going to get a whole lot of money for that particular phone. Because again, that's the highest storage variant that you can get. It has a 3 camera system on the back of it. Because with the Surface Duo 1, the selfie camera was the main camera. You had to turn it on the outside like this in order to use it facing away from you as your main camera. But a lot of people, I guess, complain about that, and that's why they have this 3 camera lens set up on the back of here, as well as a selfie camera. So the triple lens camera, you have 2 12 megapixel cameras. One's a wide, one's a telephoto, and the ultra wide is 16 megapixels. And you can record 4K up to 60 frames per second on the lenses. The selfie camera is a 12 megapixel camera, and you can record 1080p on that particular camera. The other specs I'm not going to really talk about. So let me just get into what I feel about, or how I feel so far about using this particular phone. Now, I have been using it pretty much like any other phone that I've had. The Fold phones, or my other Samsung phones. I owned an LG V60 at one point with the dual screen. And I really wanted this one because of how wide the screens are. Like I said, it's a folding phone, but it's not similar to Samsung's take of the folding phone, or Apple or Google, where if you unfold it, it's one big screen. But with this one, when you unfold it, it's 2 separate screens. And that's what I really like about this, because I can use 2 separate apps. Even though you can do the same thing on the Fold series, Google and Apple and any other folding phones that's one screen, you can split the 2 apps on the one screen. However, the 2 apps are a little cramped for them to fit on that one big screen. Now, Google's take of the Fold phone, their screens are much wider, so that you can see more real estate when you have 2 apps on that one phone. On one screen. But again, I like this setup because 2 separate screens. So you're gonna get 1 separate app here, 1 separate app here, divided by the hinge. So you're gonna get all the real estate for both apps when you're using it on this device. Now, I truly like a lot of the features that are on this phone. For example, when you want to turn it on, there's a fingerprint reader on the power button. So to wake it up, you just take your finger. If you have a fingerprint registered, hold it, bam, comes right on. Love that. I also like that it has pen support. The pen support is MPP, Microsoft Pen Protocol. So any pens that are like that, you can use on this particular phone. Now, I bought these on Amazon, and I'm not sure if they are charged, but both of these, oh, there we go. Both of these actually work. So this one is shaped like the Surface Pen. The Surface Slim Pen, excuse me. So that's why it's so thin like that. And like I said, it's made with MPP, so it works quite well. Really love it, really love it. And I got a cylindrical one so that it'll feel better in the hand when you're writing. So again, both of them work, as you can see. That is fantastic. And what I like about these generic pens that are not Microsoft, they don't take batteries. Well, they have internal batteries, but you can charge them with a USB-C cord. That is awesome. Now the magnets are not lined up as well as official Microsoft pens, but they do stick to the surface, so it doesn't fall off. As you can see, I'm shaking it pretty hard. It doesn't fall off, but it can slide off pretty easily. So if you have this in your pocket or in a bag, it will slip off. The magnets for this one, terrible. As you can see, that's how it's lined up. It feels kind of strong, but like I said, not lined up well, but who cares how it looks? As long as it holds the pen so that you can use it whenever you need it. So that's what I really like about this phone too, because of the pen support. Similar to the Galaxy S series phones or the Note series before the S. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this phone is pretty hefty. It's pretty weighty because of the 2-screen support. But if you open it up, the weight is distributed across the screen, so it doesn't feel that heavy like this. But when you close it up, you can definitely feel the heftiness of this phone. But who cares? Look how thin this bad boy is. And don't mind all the stuff that I got on it. You know how I do. This is part of my accessories that I use with the phone, so definitely stay tuned for my accessories video when I release it to show you all the cool stuff that I figured out what to do on this particular phone. It is awesome. But like I said, I really like this, and I truly believe that this was made for business people, for the business class, for those who take notes, for those who are on Zoom and you want to see your notes as well while you're on the Zoom call. This was truly made for the business people, kind of like how the Surface Book was made for business people, not really made for the consumer. So for the average consumer, most people, when they look at this or maybe want to try to use this, it's not as easy as an Apple phone, but it's definitely as complex as a Samsung phone. But like I said, with 2 screens and trying to figure out how to make the use of these 2 screens, it's a learning curve. And as you can see from how I got mine set up so far, and I'm not even done yet, because I usually use Nova Launcher when I set up a phone, because you can use folders and folders, because I usually have all my folders in one folder. However, I'm not doing it on here because the feature that you can do on this phone where you can save 2 apps that you have side by side, you can save them as an icon, which I think is awesome. You can't put those icons on Nova Launcher or any other launcher because it's overlay. So I have to stick with the regular OS and use it like this. And I like it like this too. Even though I don't have all my folders in folders, I can still slide my folders. And you can make as many screens as you want on your own home screen. So I got all my apps in these folders down here. And I have my widgets. These are my music widgets. So I got Pandora, Spotify, YouTube Music, some other things that I've collected over the years to have and ready to go when I want to play my music. And like I said, on this screen right here, on my furthest left, I have my saved two-screen apps that I like to use. I'm going to be filling this a lot more with some more apps. Most likely getting rid of this bar here because I usually don't use that. As you can see, it's very easy to move your widgets. That's a huge clock. That is big. I'm definitely getting rid of that. But anyway, I'm going to have more of my favorite apps that I use side by side on here. I got one for watching TV and movies, and this is cool too. So let's say if I'm out and about and traveling and I need to get a ride. Bam! Uber and Lyft opens up right then and there. That is awesome. Very awesome. Very happy. Oh, and this is cool right here. I'm probably going to make a separate video for this right here. I played Diablo 4. I love Diablo. Love this since 3, and I started with 3. And I've been hooked to that game ever since playing it on the Nintendo Switch. So awesome. Such an awesome game because of looting. And I have Diablo 4, and I have it on my computer here at home. But when I want to play it out and about, I use this setup. So I have Parsec, and I use it on here, and then I have YouTube on my other screen so that I can look at videos and see other people's setups for their characters and try to use that when I'm playing so that I'm all good. And because you can turn the screen, which is awesome, I'll have it like this so I can be playing my game up here and looking at YouTube down here. That is sick. Like I said, separate video on this coming soon. So as you can hear by the way that I'm talking about this phone, I'm really excited about this phone. I mean, it did cost me a pretty penny to get this because, again, they're rare, but I needed to get it. I needed to have it because, like I said, I've used the Fold series and I still think those are really good phones, but to have your apps a little bit cramped when you open the screen up, I didn't kind of like that. So I really wanted to try the Surface Duo 2 with the faster processor, the camera system on the back, and other things that make this as good as it is. So that's why I got it, and I'm really happy with it. So this is my daily driver. And I know some people may say, how can you use a phone that doesn't get updates anymore, that's been discontinued? Well, it's quite easy. There's some people today that are still using an iPhone 6. There are some people today that are using an LG V60 dual screens. There are some people today are using whatever they want to use because they like it. That's the whole point. If you like it, use it. You don't have to worry about, in a sense, updates. I mean, unless you're going on sketchy websites or you open up some sketchy emails and you might get a virus or something like that, then you want to get the latest and greatest updates if you're a person like that. If you're careful with your tech, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get viruses because you protect yourself. You go on websites that are safe. You get apps that are safe so that you're not going to jeopardize your phone to get a virus or something like that, or malware. So, like I said, use what you want because even with PCs, there are some people that are still on Windows 10, even though that's going to be discontinued. So I got Windows 11 on my main computer, but on my gaming computer, I got Windows 10. I'm not worried about it. So like I said, as long as you protect yourself, you should be good to go using any phone. So don't believe the hype. If you really need to get the updates because you're too afraid of someone hacking your phone, then definitely do that. But other than that, get what you want, use what you want. I'm very happy with my Surface. Oh man, Active Track got lost. Hold on. So I'm still using this video. I'm not going to edit that out. So, like I said, I'm very happy with my Surface Duo 2, and I will do a full review video in the future to let you see how I use it and how I've been using it on my everyday, at work, at home for play, things like that. So if you enjoyed this video, enjoy my new camera setup, definitely leave a thumbs up. subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends about my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video.